Hello. Seems like I'm always doing a weather report out here. This morning I even had to turn the heat on. It was so cold. 46 degrees outside and 60 in the house. So the heat was on and it's a little warmer now, but later in the week or later in next week is to go to the 80s again. So, it's an up and down situation. Enough the weather report. I'm hoping that some of you are finding, or all of you are realizing, that I have been putting announcements in the announcement area. So please check that because if I think of something like the job offer or the job description that I put in there the other day, I think some must have found it because she told me that she had had some calls. Anyway, that's how I end up getting some messages to you without doing a video or without doing any other thing else or anything else. It's the only way I can think about doing it. We're starting today, or I'm putting this up now to prepare you for the next week. Actually, you're finishing up Module 6, and hopefully that will be done fairly quickly because it can be. But you should be working on your observations, and that's what this is all about. I thought I've never done this before to put in a kind of an introduction to what needs to be done, but I think it's probably a good review for Module 2. Module 2 is still available to you, and you will be able to get the templates off of there. If you haven't been out yet, I suggest you get busy and get that. That week is actually not scheduled for you to do all your observations in that week, but you can. I guess it's whatever you need to do to get them done. I've broken them down. Remember that there's in 3 sets, so I don't expect you to turn in any more than maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. That would be the maximum number that I'd like to have would be 6, but it can be anywhere in that range, and you'll still be within uh, what able to get the points for the whole observation. The log is of utmost importance, and this time I put in a separate place for the log so you can upload it, scan it. Remember, the signatures have to be on it, or it's not a legal document I can count as the legal document for documenting your observations. You can even take a picture of it. One thing with scanning, if you do, make sure that you get them in right side up. I have a hard time turning my screen on my iMac upside down. And I can do that more on my laptop, but it's very hard to do when I'm working on this large screen. Let's see. I think I touched that. The templates are there, of course, for you to guide your observations a bit, to get you to look for certain things, and also to make it easier for you to make the recording and for me to read them. Speaking of recording, you will need to do your video on your observations where you compare and contrast the classrooms. Well, I'm having a hard time this morning again. You compare and you contrast the classrooms that you have visited or observed in. If you only do one observation, it's really hard to compare and contrast anything, but you need to put something in there anyway to show that you actually got it done. Videos, I think you probably all have a camera within your computer. If not, you can use a smartphone and do a kind of a selfie on your video and then upload that. There are ways to get that done. Again, the templates you can scan. I prefer to have them retyped and submitted as documents that way, but I'm not going to tell you that it's okay to just hand them in because it's very sketchy, and sometimes I can't read them. If you've done them in pencil, they don't scan well. So in order to save us all some problems, I think retyping them is probably the best thing. Anyway, if you have any, let's see, again, spaces, template 2, you need to write in there so I get a picture of what the classroom was like. And if there are any problems with any of that, then it's a technical problem, like you can't get something to upload or something to do this or that or the other thing. Always remember that Canvas Help is out there. I have used them several times now, and they've always been really, really helpful. And even if I tried to chat with them one time and it didn't work, we weren't able to do it. So the guy even suggested, I think you need to call uh, help. So I did. Canvas Help is there, and I've put the number in this uh, introduction as well. I think that's all there is. I talked more than I had planned on talking, so I'm going to quit this. And good luck, and I'm looking forward to reading your observations. Remember to, if you have been out and you already have done them, that's great. If you haven't, you know, look for the things we've talked about, the class, the gender issues, the culture, and think about how the teacher is helping that or hurting any of that.